The mountain still stood, wrapped in cloud and fire, trembling beneath the weight of Elohim's presence. Mosheh had gone up into the heights, stepping into the darkness where Elohim was. There he remained for 40 days and 40 nights, receiving the Torah, the laws and instructions that would set Yisrael apart as his people. But down below in the valley, the hearts of the people began to waver. They had seen the power of the Most High. They had heard his voice thunder from the mountain. Yet, as the days stretched on and Mosheh did not return, doubt crept in like a shadow. They gathered around Aharon, their voices filled with fear and impatience. "Make us a mighty one to go before us," they said. "As for Mosheh, the man who brought us out of Mitzrayim, we do not know what has become of him." Aharon looked up on the people, their eyes bleeding, their hearts restless. And instead of standing firm, he listened to their request. "Take the gold from your earrings, from your wives, your sons, and your daughters, and bring it to me." The people hurried to their tents, pulling off their golden ornaments, gifts they had received from the Mitzrites on the night of their deliverance. They piled them before Aharon, and he took the gold and melted it down. He shaped it with a tool, crafting it into the form of a calf. And when the people saw it, they rejoiced. "This is your mighty one, O Yisrael, who brought you out of the lands of Mitzrayim," they cried. Aharon built an altar before it and declared, "Tomorrow is a feast to Yahuah." And the next day they rose early. They brought offerings, they ate and drank, and they rose up to play, their hearts drawn away, their minds no longer set upon the one who had delivered them. High up on the mountain, Mosheh stood in the presence of Elohim. The tablets of the covenant lay before him, inscribed by the very finger of Elohim. He listened as the commands and instructions were spoken, as the ways of righteousness were revealed. But then the voice of Elohim grew heavy with anger. "Go down at once," he commanded, "for your people, whom you brought out of Mitzrayim, have corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly from the way I commanded them. They have made for themselves a molten calf, and they have bowed down to it, and they have sacrificed to it, saying, 'This is your mighty one, O Yisrael, who brought you out of Mitzrayim.'" Moshe's heart bounded. "Now let me alone, that my wrath may burn against them, and that I may consume them, but I will make of you a great nation." Moshe fell before the Most High. "O Yahuah, why does your wrath burn against your people, whom you brought out of the land of Mitzrayim with great power and a strong hand? Why should the Mitzrites say, 'He brought them out to destroy them in the mountains, to consume them from the face of the earth'? Turn from your fierce wrath. Remember Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, to whom you swore by yourself, saying, 'I will make your seed as numerous as the stars of the heavens, and I will give them this land as an everlasting inheritance.'" Moshe pleaded, and Elohim relented. Moshe turned, gathering the stone tablets, his face dark with grief. He descended the mountain, stepping down toward the valley where the people had gathered. And as he drew near, he saw it, the golden calf, the people dancing before it, their voices lifted in false worship. His heart burned with anger, and with all his strength he cast down the tablets, shattering them at the base of the mountain. The people turned in shock. The sound of the stone breaking echoed through the valley. Moshe rushed forward. He seized the golden calf, threw it into the fire, and ground it into dust. Then he scattered the ashes over the water and commanded the people to drink it. Then he turned to Aharon. "What did these people do to you, that you brought this great sin upon them?" Aharon looked away. his voice faltering. "Do not be angry, my master," he said. "You know the people, that they are set on evil. They said to me, 'Make us a mighty one to go before us.' So I told them to bring me their gold. I cast it into the fire, and out came this calf." Moshe's face remained hard. He saw the people were unrestrained, their hearts no longer fearing the Most High. Then he stood at the entrance of the camp and called out, "Whoever is for Yahuah, come to me." And the sons of Levi gathered to him. "Thus says Yahuah, each man put his sword on his side, and go through the camp from gate to gate, and slay those who persist in rebellion." And that day 3,000 men fell. The camp grew silent. The weight of their sin pressed upon them. Moshe turned again to Elohim, his heart heavy. "You have committed a great sin," he told the people. "But now I will go up to Yahuah. Perhaps I may make atonement for you." Once more he climbed the mountain, his steps slower than before, his spirit burdened, and when he reached the presence of Elohim, he fell to his knees. "O Yahuah, this people has committed a great sin. They have made for themselves a mighty one of gold. Yet now, if you would forgive their sin, but if not, I pray, blot me out of your book which you have written." Elohim answered, "Whoever has sinned against me, I will blot out of my book. But go now, lead the people to the place of which I have spoken to you. My messenger shall go before you. Nevertheless, in the day of my visitation, I will visit their sin upon them." And Elohim sent a plague among the people because of what they had done with the golden calf. The covenant had been broken, but Moshe did not give up. He pleaded again before Elohim, standing as an intercessor for Israel, and Elohim, in his mercy, renewed the covenant. Once more, Moshe ascended the mountain, and once more Elohim gave him 2 new tablets of stone. But this time, when Moshe came down, his face shone with light. The people looked upon him in awe, for the presence of Elohim was upon him. The covenant was restored. The journey continued. Until next time, Laila Tov, little one. Shalom.